In the previous class, I was discussing about special cases in the velocity time graphs. I have already discussed two special cases in VT graphs. So I am going to show you a third special case. Before I show you the third special case, I would like to show you the displacement time graph for the previous case. In the previous case I have discussed where the body, so in the previous case I have discussed special case 2, where the body first moves with constant acceleration alpha for a time t1 starting from rest. Then the body moves with uniform velocity equal to Vm for time interval t2. Finally, it moves with uniform retardation beta for time interval t3 so that it comes to rest at the end of total time t1 plus t2 plus t3. I have already shown you the velocity time graph for this case in the previous class, and I have shown you the calculation for a total time of motion in terms of total length of the path and maximum speed and alpha and beta. The conclusion is there on the board, which I have discussed in earlier class. For same case, I am showing the displacement time graph also. You can see the curve OA is a parabola which represents the displacement time graph for the first time interval t1, during which it starts from rest and moves with constant acceleration alpha. So the body moves with constant acceleration alpha, or in general constant acceleration A, starting from rest, s equal to half a t square, s proportional to t square or y proportional to x square. Here we are taking displacement along y-axis. So s equal to y, x equal to t. So y s proportional t square can be written as y proportional x square, represent the equation of parabola. Then for the time interval t2, it moves with uniform velocity. In general, if the body moves in a straight line path with uniform velocity, then magnitude of the displacement you write v into t, or s proportional to t, or y proportional to x, which represents the equation of a straight line. So the line AB represents the displacement time graph for the time interval t2, during which it moves with uniform velocity equal to Vm. Now the next time interval t3, it moves with uniform retardation beta until it comes to rest. You get another parabola here. The curve BC represents the displacement time graph for the uniformly retarded motion. You can observe that at the point C on the graph, if a tangent is drawn to the curve at the point C, it will parallel to the x-axis. That means slope of the displacement time graph will be 0 at the point C. Slope of the tangent to the curve will be 0 at the point C because velocity will be 0 at the end of the journey here. Next, I am going to discuss the special case 3. The special case 3 which I am going to discuss, that is for the case of a body projected vertically upwards. So in the case of a body projected vertically upwards with initial velocity u, which moves only under influence of gravity after projection, then we can write v equal to u minus gt. I mean velocity at time t after projection is given v equal to u minus gt. And the equation for displacement at time t measured from point of projection is given by s equal to ut minus half gt square. So here velocity decreases uniformly with time during ascent, and velocity will be 0 at the highest point. And during the downward motion, magnitude of velocity increases in the opposite direction. So if velocity is given positive sign for upward direction, you get negative sign for velocity during the downward motion. When the body returns to the point of projection, it will have same velocity equal to u in magnitude, but directed oppositely. So if you draw a velocity time graph, you did not copy this, you can copy later when I show you the type of notes. This equation resembles the equation of a straight line y equal to mx plus c. Here v equal to minus g into t plus u. So c represents, if m and c are constants, the equation y equal to mx plus c represents the equation straight line in the intercept form. C is the intercept on the y-axis, which is equal to initial velocity u. Slope m equal to minus g. So slope is negative here. So you get a straight line graph this way. If you draw a graph with velocity along way, and the body returns to the point of projection, it will have velocity. This will be equal to u in magnitude, but directed oppositely. So this will be u and this will be equal to minus u. But if you draw the displacement time graph, we take displacement along y-axis and time along x-axis. So this equation is now in the form y equal to ax minus bx square. A and b are constants. Here a equal to u and b equal to minus half g. This represents the equation of a parabola. It will have shape like this. If you want to check up this, you can check up with some numericals also. For example, if you take initial velocity u as 20 meter per second, g is 10 meter per second square, and then at t equal to 1 second, if you substitute u equal to 20 meter per second and g equal to 10 meter per second square and t equal to 1 second, you get s equal to 15 meter. If you substitute t equal to 2 seconds and u equal to 20 meter per second and g equal to 10 meter per second square, you can check up the calculation yourself. You get s equal to 20 meters. So at t equal to 3 seconds, the same way you get s equal to 15 meters. At t equal to 4 seconds, you get s equal to 0. If you show these values in the graph, this is 15, this is 20, this is 1 second, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 4 seconds. I'm just taking an example. So in general, in the case of vertical projection, displacement time graph will be parabola like this. Displacement becomes 0 when returned to the point of projection. Instead of velocity time graph, you should draw a graph with speed along y-axis and time along x-axis. Speed is always taken to positive, both during upward motion and even for downward motion. During ascent or upward motion, the magnitude velocity of speed increases. During upward motion or ascent, magnitude velocity of speed decreases and becomes 0 at the highest point. During descent or downward motion, speed increases. And when it returns to the point of projection, it will have same speed equal to u. I would like to show you the same discussion on the screen in the typed format, which we call PowerPoint presentation. So those students who are interested to take the notes, they can take the notes later. So now I'm going to show you the notes for special case 3, which I've just discussed now. So those students who are interested, write the notes. They can take a pause and write the notes here. Consider a body projected vertical upward with initial velocity u, which moves only under influence of gravity after projection. So velocity time graph is shown in the figure. So the line ABC represents the velocity time graph. The line AB is the graph for upward motion or ascent. The line BC is the graph for downward motion or descent. In the figure, OB is the time of ascent, BN is the time of descent, each equal to U by G. The length OA on y-axis, that means length of the intercept on y-axis, equal to initial loss to U. To drop perpendicular from C on both x and y-axis, N is the foot of the perpendicular drop from C and x-axis, M is the foot of the perpendicular drop from C and y-axis. Then OM equal to minus U, because when the body returns to the point of projection, its velocity will be minus U. So those students who want to write the note, they can take a pause and write the notes. This will be the speed time graph for same case. That means speed along y-axis and time along x-axis. The line AB represents the graph for ascent or upward motion during which speed decreases. At the highest point, speed becomes 0. The line BC represents the graph for downward motion during which its speed increases. Right hand side, I have shown the displacement time graph for same case, case 3. If you want to copy these graphs, you can take a pause and copy the graphs. Earlier, I have shown you the assignment in kinematics up to question number 70, 1 to 70. I have shown you the questions and answers, and also discussed all the questions, almost all the questions. Now I am going to show you another 6 questions in the assignment in kinematics, and these questions are related to the special cases in velocity time graphs I have discussed before this. So, and most of these questions are related to the VT graphs. So I would like to show you these questions about, that is starting from question number 71 up to question number 76. And you can try each question first. Next, if you want to try the question yourself, you can take a pause and try the problem. Otherwise, you can listen to the solution next. The train travels between 2 stopping stations. Question number 71. 7 kilometers apart in 14 minutes. Assuming that its motion is one of uniform acceleration for part of the journey and of uniform retardation for the rest, the greatest speed during the journey is dash kilometer per hour. So you have to find the answer. In case you want to try this question yourself, you can take a pause and try the question. The answer for this question, you should get 60. So this problem comes under special case 1, which in the special cases in velocity time graph which I have discussed. It is given that the train moves between 2 stopping stations. It starts from rest at one station, then moves with uniform acceleration for part of journey, and it is given that the train moves with uniform retardation for remaining journey, and finally comes to rest at the other station. Its velocity time graph or speed time graph will be in this as shown in the figure. So the line OA represents the graph for accelerated motion, the line AB represents the graph for retarded motion. So area of the triangle OAB gives the total displacement, which is given to 7 kilometers. The base OB of the triangle OAB gives the total time of motion, which is given to be 14 minutes. The height of the triangle AN equal to MO, that gives you the maximum speed during the motion. So area of triangle OAB is equal to half into base into height. Base OB into height AN. Area of triangle OAB gives you the total displacement. The base OB gives you total time. The height of the triangle gives the maximum speed during the journey. The total distance covered is given to be 7 kilometers. Total time of what is 14 minutes means 14 by 60 hours. And let Vm denote the maximum speed during the journey. So if you simplify this, you get Maximum speed during the journey is 60 km per hour. If you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy the working. Next, I would like to show you the question number 72. See the question number 72. The next question, this all problem also comes from the same special case 1, which I discussed in velocity time graph. Body travels a distance s in time t. It starts from rest and ends at rest. The first part of journey, it moves with constant acceleration alpha equal to f. And in the second part, with a constant retardation beta equal to r, and t is equal to. There are 4 options given on the screen. If you want to try the question, you can take a pause and try the question. I'd like to discuss the same 72 question here. This problem comes under same special case which I have discussed in one of the special cases earlier, special case 1, in the previous class. The body first moves with constant acceleration alpha for a time t1, then moves with constant retardation beta for a time t2, and Vm is the maximum speed during the motion. As explained in the previous class, you can write total displacement is equal to half into total time into maximum speed. That is area of triangle OAB. The previous problem also based on same case. Half into base into height. Base equal to total time, height equal to maximum speed. So as I already explained, this maximum speed and can be expressed in terms of alpha, beta, and total time. As explained, you can see the working I have done in the previous class in special case 1. This total displacement, you can write half alpha beta into alpha plus beta into t square. Here alpha is denoted by, from same equation you can write alpha is denoted by f here, beta is equal to r. So in alpha equal to f and beta equal to r. And you have to solve for t from same equation. So t square will be 2s into f plus r by f into r. Divide separately each term with f into r and take square root both sides. You get the first option as the answer. T equal to the root of 2s into f by fr will be 1 by r plus 1 by f. If you want to copy the calculation, you can take a pause and copy. Problem comes from the same special case 1, which I discussed earlier. I have directly used the result which I already derived in the special case 1 in VT graphs in the previous class. Here the next question is also based on the special case, same special case. Next, I am going to show you the question number 73. For question number 72, answer is the first option. See the question number 73. Lift performs first part of its ascent with uniform acceleration f. The remainder with uniform retardation to f. If h is the depth of the see the question number 73. A lift performs first part of its ascent with uniform acceleration f. the remainder with uniform retardation to F. If h is the depth of shaft and t the time of ascent, then there are four options here. First option h equal to 1/3 of ft square, second option h equal to half ft square, third option h equal to ft square, fourth option h equal to ft square. Come on, try the question yourself. This problem also comes from the same special case one. So look at the question number 73 again. Lift performs first part of its ascent with uniform acceleration F, the remainder with uniform retardation to F. H is the depth of the shaft and T is the time of ascent. Then now see, this problem also comes under the same special case one which I have discussed in velocity time graphs in previous class. So it is understood that lift starts from rest in the ground floor and finally comes to rest after time t. So during part of the motion, it moves with uniform acceleration alpha equal to F. Then during the remaining part of the motion, it moves with uniform retardation beta equal to 2F. The total time of motion denoted by small t. That means this problem also comes on the same special case which I have discussed in the previous class. That is the first special case in velocity time graphs, where I have derived the total displacement. You can write half into total time into maximum velocity. In terms of alpha beta, you can write half alpha beta into t square by alpha plus beta. Here total is here you have to substitute alpha equal to F and beta equal to F on the right hand side, and capital T equal to small t on the right side, and S equal to H on the left side. Substitute alpha equal to F and beta equal to F. You try to simplify it yourself. You get the answer H equal to 1/3 of ft square. Want to copy this working? You can take the pause and copy the working. So if you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy the working. So they have discussed this question number 73 just now, for which answer you will get the first option, that is H equal to 1/3 ft square. Next, I would like to show you the next question, 74. A train travels in 3 minutes a distance of 3.15 kilometers from rest at one station to rest at another station. It is uniformly accelerated for the first 30 seconds and uniformly retarded for the last 15 seconds. The speed being constant for the remaining time. Find the acceleration, the retardation, and the maximum velocity. So this problem comes under special case 2, which I discussed in the previous class. If you want to try the problem, you can take a pause and try the problem. You're supposed to get the answers as 2 by 3 meter per second square, 4 by 3 meter per second square, and 20 meter per second. Like to show the working for this problem. Here total time of motion is given to be 3 minutes, means 3 into 60 seconds or 180 seconds. Total distance covered is given to be 3.15 kilometers. It means 3.15 into 1000 meters or 3150 meters. Let T1 denote the time for which it moves with constant acceleration denoted by alpha. that is equal to 30 seconds. Let T2 be the time for which it moves with uniform velocity, which is not given directly. Let T3 denote the time interval during which it moves with uniform retardation for last part of the journey. T3 is given to 15 seconds. So total time of journey you can write T1 plus T2 plus T3. Total time is 180 seconds. T1 is 30 seconds. T2 is you have to find. T3 is 15 seconds. So from this you can find T2. So total time of motion you can write T1 plus T2 plus T3. Total time is given to 3 minutes. That will be 180 seconds. T1 is the time for which it moves with acceleration. I denote the acceleration by alpha. The T1 is 30 seconds. T2 is the time for which it moves with uniform speed equal to the maximum speed during the journey, which is not directly given. T3 is the time for which it moves in the retardation, the last part of the journey, that is given to 15 seconds. From this you can find T2 here, 180 minus 45 seconds equal to T2. So you get T2 equal to 135 seconds. This problem comes under second special case, case 2, which I have discussed in velocity time graph. In case you remember the conclusion I have shown from the graph, you can straight away use the conclusion, solve the problem. In case you want to copy this part of working, you can take a pause and copy this part of working. I would like to continue my working. The problem is not completed with this step. If I finish copying this part of the working, I can continue the working part. Can draw the velocity time graph for this case roughly, which I have discussed in special case 2. The straight line OA represents the graph for the first time interval T1 equal to 30 seconds. The line AB represents the velocity time graph for the motion with uniform speed for a time interval T2 equal to 135 seconds. The line BC represents the velocity time graph for the last part of the motion during the retarded motion for a time T3. I denote total time by capital T. Area under the velocity time graph and time axis gives the total displacement. In the given problem, total displacement is given to be 3.15 kilometers. So that comes out to 3150 meters. So area of the trapezium OABC half into sum of the parallel sides multiplied by perpendicular distance between the parallel sides. That is equal half into sum of the parallel sides equal to AB plus OC. And the perpendicular distance with the parallel sides is AN. So area of the trapezium gives you the total displacement covered during the entire journey. The length AB is same as the length NM is equal to the time T2 for which it moves with uniform speed equal to denoted by Vm. Let Vm denote the maximum speed during the journey, or Vm is the uniform speed with which it moves for the time interval T2 in the middle part of the journey. The length OC gives you total time of motion. AN gives you the height of the trapezium or perpendicular distance between the two parallel sides. That is equal to maximum speed during the journey. The total displacement is given to be 3.15 kilometers or 3150 meters. And T2 we calculated 135 seconds. And total time of motion is given to be 180 seconds. So from this you can find the maximum speed yourself. I write the same calculation. Again, 31 s equal to 3150 meter. T2 equal to 135 seconds. Total time of motion is 180 seconds. Vm is the maximum speed, which you have to find out. From this you can find Vm. Come on, if you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy this working. So you get the maximum speed equal to 20 meter per second, or the uniform speed is 20 meter per second. Next, you have to find the acceleration alpha for accelerated motion. So here for accelerated motion, the slope of the line y gives you the acceleration denoted by alpha. That is equal to Vm by T1. Because initial velocity at the beginning of accelerated motion is 0. The final velocity at the end of accelerated motion is Vm. Time of accelerated motion T1. Vm we got 20 meter per second. For accelerated motion, initial velocity is 0. Final velocity is equal to 20 meter per second. The time T1 is given to be 30 seconds. So the acceleration alpha for the first part of the motion is 2 by 3 meter per second square. The acceleration alpha for the first part of the motion will be 2 by 3 meter per second square. For last part of the motion, the slope of the line BC gives you the retardation. So for retarded motion, as explained in the special case 2 in the previous class, for retarded motion you can write acceleration is equal to minus beta. That is equal to, for retarded, beginning of retarded motion, velocity equal to maximum velocity. Final velocity is 0 at the end of retarded motion. Time of retarded motion is T3. So for retarded motion, acceleration is written as minus beta, where beta is the retardation. At the end of retarded motion, final velocity is 0. Initial velocity at the beginning of retarded motion is equal to maximum speed, which is equal to 20 meter per second. From that you get beta equal to maximum speed by T3. The maximum speed you get 20 meter per second. Time T3 for the last part of the motion is given to 15 seconds. So you get beta equal to 4 by 3 meter per second square. So the answer for acceleration is 2 by 3 meter per second square. For retardation, answer is 4 by 3 meter per second square. For maximum speed, answer is 20 meter per second. These three are the answers. So those who want to copy the working, they can take a pause and copy the working. So for the question I have discussed just now, 74, the answers are again shown written at the bottom. The alpha acceleration for the first part of the motion is 2 by 3 meter per second square. The retardation beta for last part of the motion is 4 by 3 meter per second square. And maximum velocity is 20 meter per second. I'd like to show you the next problem on the screen. Question number 75. This problem also comes on the same special case 2 which I have discussed in velocity time graphs, which I have discussed in the previous class. An electric train traveling between two stopping places, 1500 meters apart, is uniformly accelerated for first 10 seconds. during which period it covers 100 meters, then runs with constant speed until it is finally retarded in the last 50 meters. Calculate the time taken for over the journey. So, if you want to try the problem, you can take a pause and try the problem. You're supposed to get the answer as 82.5 seconds. So I would like to show you the working also. This problem also comes under same special case 2 in VT graphs. Total displacement covered for the entire motion is 1500 meters. Let S1 be the displacement covered during accelerated motion in the first 10 seconds. That is given to be 100 meters. Let S2 denote the distance covered during the motion with uniform speed, and S3 denote the distance covered in the last part of journey during the retarded motion. That is 50 meters. So you can draw the graph, the same similar graph again here, velocity time graph. So this is the velocity time graph. That is, this problem also comes under same special case 2, which I discussed in the earlier class. That is almost the method of the previous problem, partly is repeated here. T1 denote the time for which it moves with uniform acceleration for the first part of journey, during which it has covered 100 meters. T2 is the time for which it moves with uniform speed equal to the maximum speed. And T3 is the time for last part of the motion. You're asked to find total time of motion. Now see the displacement covered for accelerated motion. You can use the formula. Displacement is equal to average of initial and final velocities multiplied by time interval. Displacement covered during accelerated motion during first part of the motion is 100 meters. Initial velocity at the beginning of motion is 0 because it is given that the body starts from rest and finally comes to rest at the end of the journey. So initial velocity at the beginning of the journey is 0. The final velocity at the end of accelerated motion is equal to the maximum speed denoted by Vm. T1 is the time for which it moves with uniform acceleration for the first part of the journey, that is given to be 10 seconds. So from this you get maximum speed during the motion equal to 20 meters per second. Then repeat the procedure of the previous problem. Area of the trapezium OABC gives the total displacement covered, which can be written as half into some of the parallel sides into perpendicular distance with the parallel sides. One of the parallel length of the side was equal to total time of motion denoted by capital T. The length of the line AB is same as equal to the time interval T2 during which it moves with uniform speed. The perpendicular distance with the two parallel sides in the velocity time graph is equal to the magnitude of the maximum velocity. So S total displacement is given to be 1500 meters. Total time you have to find T2 is not given. So T2 is to be found to apply this equation. Further, you consider the total motion S equal to total distance covered during the entire journey. You can write S equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3. S2 is the distance covered with uniform speed. So you can substitute S equal to 1500 here meters You call this as equation 1. We'll come back to this equation again. We use this equation first now. S equal S1 plus S2 plus S3. S is 1500 meters. S1 equal to 100 meters plus S2, S3 is 50 meters. So you can simplify this to find S2. S2 will be 1500 minus 150, 1350 meters. S2 is the distance covered during the time interval T2 with uniform speed equal to the maximum speed Vm, which we have calculated 20 meters per second. So S2 can be written as Vm into T2. The body moves with uniform speed. Distance covered is equal to speed into time. So S2 is 1350 meters. Vm equal to 20 meters per second. From this you can find T2. Find the value of T2 from this equation and substitute this value of T2 in this equation and try to complete the problem yourself now. Please take a pause now and do the simplification part yourself. Complete the simplification part yourself now. Substitute the value of T2 from the last step in the first equation. You know, and substitute Vm equal 20 meters per second right side in the first equation. Next, substitute S equal to 1500 meters on the left hand side. Come on, take a pause and try the problem. Copy the solution of the problem and complete the calculation part of the problem. So, if you substitute, you simplify the value of T2 in the last step we have written previous class. Previously, you substitute, you'll get T2 equal to 67.5 seconds. Substitute this value of T2 in the first equation. You get the value of T equal to 82.5 seconds. So that is a simplification. Also, I have shown on the screen. In case you need some more time to copy, you can take a pause and copy. Then I would like to show you one more question. Question number 76 after this. So for question number 76, 75, which I have discussed just now, you get the answer as 82.5 seconds. Next, I would like to discuss the question number 76. Figure shows the velocity time graph for a particle moving in a straight line. You are given the graph. Come on, you take a pause and copy this graph in your class notes or on a paper. So again, in case you need time to copy the graph, you please take a pause and copy the graph, which I have shown on the screen, because I would like to show you the questions based on this graph. The next slide. In case you have not copied the graph, please copy the graph now. If you require some more time to copy the graph, you can take a pause and copy the graph. See the questions here. First part question, find the average velocity for first 6 seconds. Second part question, find the average velocity for first 8 seconds. Third part question, find the average speed for the first 8 seconds. Then fourth part question, find the acceleration at the instant t equal to 6.5 seconds. If you want to try the problem yourself first, you can take a pause and try this problem. If you want to try the problem, you can take a pause and try the problem. So I'm showing the answers also on the screen. For first part question, you should get answer as 20 by 3 meters per second. For second part question, you should get the answer as 3.75 meters per second. For third part question, you should get the answer as 6.25 meters per second. And for the fourth part question, you should get the answer as minus 20 by 3 meters per second square. So I would like to discuss the solution of this question. And for first 6 seconds, velocity is positive. That means for first 6 seconds, it moves in one particular direction. But for the time interval t equal to 6 seconds to t equal to 8 seconds, velocity is negative. That means it moves in the opposite direction for the next 2 second time interval. So let n be the foot of the perpendicular drop from the point A on x-axis. M is the foot of the perpendicular drop from the point B on x-axis. So displacement covered for first 6 seconds is equal to area of trapezium OABC. Displacement covered for first 6 seconds is equal to area of the trapezium OABC. The formula for area of trapezium is equal to half into sum of the parallel sides into perpendicular distance between the two sides. That is half into OC plus AB into perpendicular distance between the two sides is AN. OC equal to 6 seconds here. AB is length of the line AB is same as the length of the line NM. That is equal to 4 minus 2 seconds. That means here AB equal to NM equal to 4 minus 2 seconds or 2 seconds. The height of the triangle equal to AN, I mean perpendicular distance between the parallel sides is AN, that is 10 meters per second. So I can substitute here OC equal to total time of motion 6 seconds, AB equal to 2 seconds, and AN equal to 10 meters per second. So that will be 40 meters. Therefore, average velocity for first 6 seconds is equal to displacement covered for first 6 seconds, that is 40 meters, divided by time interval. That will be 20 by 3 meters per second. That's the answer for the first part question. If you calculate the area of the triangle CDE, that gives you the displacement covered during the next 2 seconds. That is the time interval t equals 6 seconds and t equals 8 seconds. So area of the triangle CDE is equal to half into base into height. Base equal to CE, height equal to ND. Here base CE is equal to 8 minus 6 seconds. The height of the triangle is minus 10 meter per second. So you get minus 10 meters. That means in the first 2 seconds, for first 6 seconds, it moves 40 meters in one direction. The next 2 seconds, that means in the time interval t equals 6 seconds and t equals 8 seconds, it has moved 10 meters in the backward direction. The negative sign indicates that. That means net displacement covered for 8 seconds will be 40 meter minus 10 meter or 30 meter. Therefore, net displacement covered for 8 seconds will be 40 meter plus minus 10 meter. So average velocity in case you want to copy this part of the working first, you better take a pause and copy this part of the working first. Then average velocity for 8 seconds, for first 8 seconds. Net displacement for 8 seconds will be 40 meter minus the 10 meter by time interval, 8 seconds. That will be 30 by 8 or 15 by 4, 3.75 meter per second will be the average velocity for first 8 seconds. But if you are asked average speed for first 8 seconds, the average speed for first 8 seconds equal total distance covered in 8 seconds divided by time taken. For first 6 seconds, it has moved 40 meters in one direction. Next 2 seconds, it moves a distance of 10 meters in the backward direction. So distance covered is always taken to be positive. Therefore, average speed for 8 seconds because distance covered for 8 seconds divided by time interval. Distance covered for 8 seconds is 40 plus 10 meters. Divided by time interval is 8 seconds. So that is 50 by 8 or 25 by 4 or 6.25 meter per second. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem.